bringing news from a different page. Truth served hot and bold and strong. Every week we sing along. Red, white, and true will stand tall. Echo the call loudest of all. With hearts of faith and liberty, together we find unity. Stories that make you think and pray. A light awaits at the end of day. Guided by the stars and stripes, through the stormiest of nights. Red, white, and true will stand tall. Echo the call loudest of all. With hearts of faith and liberty, together we find unity. When the world feels like a fight, hold your ground, stand for what's right. In the truth we'll find our way. Ed and Ronnie light the way. Red, white, and true we'll stand tall. Echo the call loudest of all. With hearts of faith and liberty, together we find unity. Red, white, and true will stand tall. Echo the call loudest of all. With hearts of faith and liberty, together we find unity. Together we find unity.
Yeah, you know who needs to shut up? Ed and Ronnie and that red, white, and true bullcrap.
Okay, time for you to go, troll.
Hey there, yeah, I'm talking to you. Name's Clyde. I'm a Cardinal, obviously, but here's the thing. I am absolutely hooked on Ed and Ronnie's live streams. Can't help it. Every Tuesday, I plop down in this nest, seeds on standby, and tune in. They bring the
Afternoon, sir. Sorry to bother you. Were you watching Ed and Ronnie's live stream last night?
That's what this is about.
It is, yes.
Well, I did, and it's my right to watch whatever I like in my own house.
They're not saying otherwise. Just need to know if you saw anything you'd be willing to talk about.
Could help clear a few things up.
Well, I'm not sure if we're going to clear anything up tonight or not. We'll do our very best if that's what's necessary. And welcome to Red, White, and True with Ed and Ronnie, the Do the Right Thing Monday edition. What's up, Ronnie?
How's it going this evening?
Well, you and I are both, we had a pretty good supper here tonight. Beef and noodles, mashed potatoes. For all of you who've not had my wife's anything in noodles, beef and noodles, chicken and noodles is her specialty. We probably should have our own dietitian that works here as well, because she feeds us rather well. Well.
That's true. That is true.
And would you throw a quick text out to the one group?
Sure will.
Strangely enough, we don't have anybody from Facebook represented on here tonight. I know maybe a couple of our old Facebook people have been going to YouTube, and we love when people do that. You get a much bigger picture of Ronnie, more to look at there, and
this beautiful face right here.
There you go. I was just trying to, past the time until you said that. We love what we do here with you guys. We enjoy. There is your mama, and she heard us talking about her good food that we had for supper.
Oh yeah.
Susan from across the pond is here with us tonight. Always good to see her. If you are watching right now, if you would make a comment, whatever, just hi. I'm from wherever.
Hola.
If you want, yeah, we should get
Whatever.
hi, hola, auf Wiedersehen, so that we could say hi to everybody from everywhere. But we love what we do, Ronnie.
Absolutely.
Your mom's making me laugh. She didn't hear us talking about her good food, but you just have to take our word for it. We did, unless you want to rewind it later after we're done. What's going on, Ronnie? What's got your attention tonight?
Well, I actually got two things space related, and then a couple pretty funny loony libtard videos, and back to the subject again about sleeper cells and watching each other's backs, watching your back, everything like that. So, and yeah, so I'm just actually I'll jump on the one. The scientists have detected the brightest and most distant natural space laser called a maser ever observed. The signal came from two galaxies away, colliding about 7.8 to 8 billion light years away. The collision compressed gas clouds. The signal is extremely powerful. It's classified as a gigamaser. Never heard of that before. I just thought that was pretty cool. The signal traveled nearly 8 billion years to reach Earth, making it the most distant maser ever detected. And it helps scientists study galaxy mergers, star formations in the early universe. And while I was reading that, I kind of got curious, and we've talked before about the Artemis mission. We were going to cover it in February and then again in March, and then we were told that it was canceled, and now it looks like NASA's earliest possible launch for the Artemis 2 mission to the moon will be April 1st, which they could have picked a better day than April Fool's Day, right?
Yeah, when you're marketing things, you got to keep certain things in perspective, and there's only a 50-50 chance that people are going to believe that is a
right. But the Artemis 2 mission will be a 10-day mission from Kennedy Space Center to the moon. We'll send 4 astronauts to the moon and back. They're not going to land. Kind of like the old Apollo missions. It wasn't until Apollo 11 before they actually landed on the moon. So,
well, and they moved that up after the last cancellation. It was kind of like indefinite, wasn't it?
Yeah, February, and then it was going to be sometime in March, and then they had this leak they couldn't pin down, and then they canceled it, and then they pinned the leak down, fixed it, and it'll be happening in April 1st. Other possible launch dates are the 3rd through the 6th or April 30th, depending on conditions. But it is the first crewed mission to the moon since Apollo in 1972. Before my time.
Well, no matter where they go or who they find, they'll be watching Red, White, and True with Ed and Ronnie.
Members of Congress, people of Earth, the time for secrecy is over. Watch Ed and Ronnie. Get the truth. The answers you seek are within reach. The future depends on it.
That would be cool. That would be awesome.
What a lead-in that is.
But yeah, that's all the space stuff I've got, I think. Oh, wait. I've got a video. Here we go. Jumping into the Iran war and space and everything already.
I want to pop this up on your screen as we are just getting this coming into the newsroom here. Israel's military confirming a short time ago that it destroyed a compound belonging to the Iranian regime that was used to develop capabilities in space to attack satellites. Israel's Air Force saying it was acting on IDF intelligence and struck that compound, which posed a threat to Israel's satellites, but also to space assets of other countries around the world. Israel says this adds to Friday's strike against another space research compound that belonged to the Iranian Space Organization. So again, just getting those maps that are coming into the newsroom here from the IDF. Now, Iran's Revolutionary Guard issuing a violent threat saying that it will hunt down and kill Israel's Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu. The state-run IRNA news agency reporting a statement here from the IRGC that you see right there on your screen. It reads, quote, "If the criminal Zionist prime minister is still alive, we will continue to pursue and kill him with full force," end quote. That statement coming.
I love their little impotent threat there. We're going to hunt him down.
Well, it reminds me, you've seen the videos where it turns out that the person in the video is like bug size or something like that, and the other one is a human, and that's what it reminds me of. Little bug-sized Ayatollah, wherever he is, getting swatted. And
threats.
You probably have heard, and I've had 2 or 3 people ask me if Netanyahu was dead. That was all fake news that was there. And now that Bill and Tanya are in here on Facebook, I was going to tell you to take a story that take a minute, because I was going to see what was going on Facebook to see if we were up and running. Because
it looks like we got Bill and Tanya in here, yeah.
So I won't have to do that now. So welcome everyone once again. You mentioned the war. I've got an update from Central Command that I'm going to play here.
All right.
Give me just a second to get there.
Well, I'll tell you one thing while we're waiting. I love ChatGPT. I put in a whole huge article and I said summarize, and at the very end it says, "If you want, Mr. Beef, I can also make you a hard-hitting beef commentary for this segment."
Oh, your mom. Now, oh,
she didn't count.
I thought.
Oh, she is on Facebook.
Well,
yeah, it only says there's one on Facebook.
I'm pretty sure earlier it said she was on YouTube, but
Her
now
comment
it
there was
doesn't.
on Facebook. Yeah, it still says there's only one on Facebook. I don't know.
So you do count, dear. You always count. I promise.
As long as you're making tasty stuff like beef and noodles.
Well, you can say that. I'll just pass on that opportunity, which would be a very poor opportunity.
Oh, I love this article.
It's
Doomsday
one thing
plane
to defend by
seen for the
striking
second
launchers
time in
and
2 months
intercepting
amid
missiles and
Iran
drones,
war.
but it's
You know
another
what's funny
thing
is I
to
just so happened
eliminate
to
the
glance
wider
yesterday.
manufacturing.
I think we were on top
I
of
was just
each
saying
other.
that this article is. Yeah, this article just says Doomsday plane is seen for the second time in 2 months amid Iran war. It's just funny. I just so happened to glance at Flight Tracker yesterday, and there was 2 Doomsday planes in the air at the exact same time. So, you know how well the left covers things here. It looks like.
Yeah, they're on it. Here we go. Central Command with an update on Operation Epic Fury.
Hi, I'm Admiral Brad Cooper, the commander of U.S. Central Command, here to provide another update on Operation Epic Fury. First, I want to remember and honor our fallen warriors who made the ultimate sacrifice in the KC-135 refueling aircraft incident last week. We hold their memories and their families, their friends and their teammates in our prayers. Their selfless service and dedication hardens our resolve. For 16 days, we've delivered overwhelming firepower deep into Iran. This past Friday, U.S. forces executed a large-scale precision strike on Karg Island, destroying more than 90 Iranian military targets including storage bunkers for naval mines and missiles and other military infrastructure. To date, our Air Force, Navy, and Marine Corps aviators have collectively flown more than 6,000 combat flights, demonstrating the unmatched capability of America's joint force as we maintain air superiority over Iranian skies. We continue to remain centered on our military objectives. These are well defined and include eliminating Iran's ballistic missiles, drones, and naval threats. It's one thing to defend by striking launchers and intercepting missiles and drones, but it's another thing to eliminate the wider manufacturing apparatus behind them. And we are doing that today. We've talked about it in concept. Here's what it looks like in reality. Let me show you, for the first time, a few examples of how we are dismantling Iran's defense industrial base, which will prevent threats to the region into the future. Here you see a photo from March 1st of a naval drone storage facility located near the Strait of Hormuz. This is the same location 8 days later, completely destroyed. Next, here's a photo taken of an attack drone production factory in Tehran on March 5th. Here's that same factory 6 days later after a devastating barrage of U.S. airstrikes. And finally, the Yazdi military depot, pictured here last month. These 8 buildings are part of the IRGC's missile command infrastructure and are used to produce light and heavyweight torpedoes. Now, here's that same military depot just last week, or what's left of it. U.S. and partner strikes are doing exactly what they are intended to do, deliver on very clear military objectives to eliminate Iran's ability to project power against Americans and against its neighbors. We're also zeroed in on dismantling Iran's decades-old threat to the free flow of commerce through the Strait of Hormuz. Through a combination of air, land, and maritime capabilities, we have successfully destroyed over 100 Iranian naval vessels, and we aren't done. We will continue to rapidly deplete Iran's ability to threaten freedom of navigation in and around the Strait of Hormuz. Our progress remains steady, and we remain vigilant against the enemy. Now, a few thoughts about Iran. Over the last 2 weeks, they have launched attacks on Oman, Saudi Arabia, Israel, Jordan, Cyprus, Turkey, Azerbaijan, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Iraq, Kuwait, and Bahrain. In each of these countries, they are deliberately attacking innocent civilians. They've done this more than 300 times, which demonstrates their true nature as a global leader of terror. In just the last few days, the Iranian regime launched a reckless attack against civilian neighborhoods in Tel Aviv with cluster bombs, an inherently indiscriminate type of munition. We join countries across the region in condemning this aggression, and we stand shoulder to shoulder with our partners in bolstering our own defenses. In sum, I will reinforce what I've said before. Iran's capabilities are declining as our capabilities and advantages continue to build. And finally, I'd like to talk about the extraordinary 50,000 Americans who are deployed across the region executing this vital mission. It's long been my belief that every success we have begins and ends with our people. And today I'd like to recognize our unsung heroes, the sustainers enabling America's joint force to unleash this devastating firepower 24/7. To be clear, there's no other military on earth that does logistics like the U.S. military, and our team is at the top of their game today. They're managing distribution networks that span thousands of miles to ensure that munitions, fuel, and supplies reach warfighters on the front line on time, every time. To all our sustainers and logisticians, thank you and keep up the great work. And to the entire Operation Epic Fury team, keep pushing, remain steady, fight to win. Thanks so much and Godspeed.
Fight to win. Fight to win.
Fight to win. That's right.
You know, if we would have done that in Vietnam, we wouldn't have had our head between our tail. And
yep, that's right.
There you go. What do you got?
Well, this right here, this is a current flight tracker, and this is an E-6B Mercury, which is a doomsday plane flying off the coast of Oregon. It's been in the air since 1:04 this afternoon. So, you know, don't always listen or trust what you hear in the media. It says 2 spotted in 2 months. Come on. There's one right in the air right now. But I also wanted to
So,
show something that I found pretty interesting. This is one of the things I track. You notice these planes right here. These are all military planes. And they're all, remember a few weeks ago, we tracked all of them flying from the United States across overseas, the strata tankers, the big
yes.
flying gas stations, essentially. That's what these are. And they're all flying in a row. So it's just kind of weird. It's like they're going over here to Israel, I'm guessing to reload or something.
Now, for those that may not know what the
cool.
Doomsday plane is, go ahead
Lifeline.
and give an update again on what the Doomsday plane is.
So the Doomsday plane, there are 4 of them. The United States has 4 of them. There is always one in the air. There's always one ready to take off. There's one like on the tarmac, that they can load it and take off eventually. And there's one in maintenance. And what the Doomsday plane is essentially it's the flying government. So President Trump can get on it, JD Vance, all the chiefs of staff, congressmen, senators, everybody can get on it and basically run the country from this plane that would never need to land, because it can be aerially refueled by those strata tankers that I just showed. So it can stay in the air all the time. It's hardened. It's nuclear hardened. It's not as electromagnetic pulse from a nuclear blast won't take it down, which it can take down normal planes, but these E-6B Mercuries or Doomsday planes are designed for it. So basically what they're designed to is to put any of our leaders on board and take off and command everything from the sky, essentially.
So on any given day, it's full of just staff. Something bad goes down. Any of the people you said can board and be back up running the country.
Yep. So there's always one in the air, one getting ready to take off, one on the tarmac ready to go, and one in maintenance. So that's all it takes. Now, like 9/11, President Bush was at a classroom in Florida. He was on Air Force One. The rest of the Joint Chiefs and stuff like that, they were on one of the Doomsday planes. Now, oh my goodness, it just escaped me. Vice President under George Bush. Oh my goodness, forgive me.
Dick
Cheney. That's the first
Dick
Bush.
Cheney.
Dick Cheney. Yeah. That was the first Bush. He was taken to, I believe, NORAD. He was taken to an underground bunker. I know that, but since then they've installed the POC, the Presidential Emergency Command Center. It's in underground of the White House. That's one of the things I'm interested in. If you know me, you know I like survival stuff and doomsday prepping and all that noise. So I like to know what the government's got in store. Oh, okay. Here, a comment from Michael Sisk. Going to Seymour Saturday afternoon on 11, saw 3 military planes. So around in this area, they're actually in Kentucky. It's they're KC-130s, I believe. They go by the call sign Derby. There's a small base there. They come up to Columbus and they do touch and goes. So yeah, you'll see them flying all over the place. You'll see them flying to Atterbury. It's usually on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but they can be out anytime. But yeah, they'll fly over here and they'll shake the roof. That's for sure. So.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to cover that real quick. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead with something. I've got something I'm trying to come up with.
Okay. Well, so you said you like the titles from some of my videos. I've got Libtard and Libtard Song. And I was trying to tell you that the video for the Libtard. We used to do Looney Tune Liberal Tuesdays. We haven't done that in a while, and I come across this rocket scientist. She's got to be incredibly smart because there's no way on earth somebody can be this stupid.
Hey, do you live in Florida and have nothing to do this Saturday? Same here. So why don't you get in your car Saturday morning, drive to West Palm Beach, and meet us at the Peach at 1 p.m. This event has an amazing lineup with Clip Cash and Earth to Eve, and then afterwards we're going to take a march. we're just going to take a little bit of a stroll. See what's going on in Palm Beach Island. You know what I'm saying? See if anybody's home. You know what I'm saying? Seeing if anybody is hiding any children in their bathrooms, their golden bathrooms. Wink, wink.
Bone, arrest the president. You got the evidence. That nigga is Russian intelligence.
This woman apparently has nothing to do on Saturday. So she's trying to get a group of people to go to Mar-a-Lago and look in windows. Is that what you gathered from that? Because
I would think that if she's a life coach or a professional in that kind of manner, her stock price just tanked.
Yeah, I don't get it. I can't believe somebody would be that dumb. Oh, we got a question here from Susan. Bush didn't go back immediately to Washington. No, he did not. I believe I don't exactly remember if he went to NORAD or if he went to what's the one in Virginia? They've got multiple doomsday bunkers built in for the government. There is one in Virginia, I believe, that's pretty close to DC. It's Mountain something or something Mountain. I don't remember. It's been a while since I read the book. But let's see here. While you're still looking that up, I thought this was pretty funny. This is Donald Trump and our Speaker of the House, and they're talking about Neil Dunn, congressman from Florida, and how he has a pretty serious diagnosis that wasn't made public until Trump did his thing.
Go ahead, tell him the story.
Okay, well, thank you, Mr. President. Congressman Neil Dunn of Florida had some real health challenges, and it was very serious, and had a pretty grim diagnosis. And I mentioned it to the president, and I said, Congressman Dunn is a real champion and a patriot because he's still coming to work. And if others got this diagnosis, they would be apt to go home and retire. And
what was the diagnosis?
It was, I think it was a terminal diagnosis.
He would be dead by June.
Okay, that wasn't public, but yeah, okay, that's it was grim. That's what I was going to say.
I don't know if he intended to do that or what the deal was, but he kind of spilt the beans there. So.
Yeah, he
pretty funny. Yeah, he spilt the beans.
Yeah, it would be tough working with him. Like if it was me and you were Trump, and I know you can do a little bit of a Trump impersonation. But we try to.
What are you talking about? I don't do that good at Donnie Trump.
Well, we try to play off each other. We kind of know when the other one gets quiet, the other one needs to take off talking and stuff.
Yeah.
But Trump would probably want to have a mute button so he could mute me to where he could just talk, and then when he was done, he'd turn the mute button off and. Like Senator or Congressman Johnson there. Go ahead.
I don't think he meant anything malicious, but I also don't think he was thinking. He just kind of,
Yeah, I mean, right. And sometimes he probably regrets opening his mouth at some points in time.
Yeah.
He would probably never say that, but
of course not. Of course not.
But there are times where I'm sure he thinks, yeah, all my handlers wish I'd shut up sometimes.
It's not quite as bad as Sleepy Joe, where they have to hand him a card and show him where to walk off the stage and everything. But it's
they had to send a former president to help him off the stage.
Yeah, exactly. or the Easter Bunny to show him around the White House grounds. During the White House Easter egg hunt. Yeah, we're not there yet with President Trump, but Susan here says I don't think it was ever malicious. Malicious. I don't think so either. I think it was just.
It was just.
He doesn't shut up sometimes. Yeah, he just doesn't shut up sometimes. Well, while you're still looking for that, I will play the liberal song. I found this first thing this morning and thought it was hilarious.
The world is awful and I am mad. Do you know why? Orange man bad. You've got Trump derangement syndrome when your brain don't work quite right. Trump derangement syndrome. Morning, noon, and night. I heard he was convicted of 34 felonies. Of one you cannot name. The news said he did something bad. Oh, they're the ones to blame. He said there were fine people on both sides.
Oh, come on, man. That too is a lie.
You've got Trump derangement syndrome when your brain don't work quite right. Trump derangement syndrome. Morning, noon, and night.
What about all of the people he allegedly fondled? He said all women are pigs.
Just Rosie O'Donnell. You've got Trump derangement syndrome. More and more each day. Trump derangement syndrome.
I heard he wants to round up the gays.
Not today. I'm sure he will soon. He ruins everything.
Boy,
If we could find a way to work that in to be in our opening segment, I think that was pretty good.
Wow. I mean, how could you argue with any of that?
Yeah,
Even if you're part of Trump derangement syndrome, you got to admit that was all true stuff there.
Yeah, that
And
you got to admit it.
what I was looking for, and I think this appropriate and something we should do going forward. We've lost 13 heroes thus far in Operation Epic Fury. And I don't think we could say their names enough. So I pulled up the 13 names, military.com, and then I've got music to go with it after I finish. But I want to read the names and hometowns of those heroes that we've lost. And going forward, I want to do that too. We'll probably pick a different time. This was one of those things that just hit me right as we were in the middle of what we were doing. So we'll clean it up a little bit for the future. But getting away for a couple of moments here and paying tribute to 13 heroes. First one is Tech Sergeant Tyler H. Simmons, Air National Guard, age 28, home Columbus, Ohio. Captain Ariana G. Savino, Air Force, age 31, Covington, Washington. Tech Sergeant Ashley B. Pruitt, Air Force, age 34, Bardstown, Kentucky. Captain Seth R. Koval, Air National Guard, age 38, Mooresville, Indiana. Major John A. Klinner, Air Force, age 33, Auburn, Alabama. Captain Curtis Angst, Air National Guard, age 30, Wilmington, Ohio. Sergeant Benjamin Pennington, United States Army, 26, Glendale, Kentucky. Sergeant First Class Noah Tietjens, Army Reserve, age 42, Bellevue, Nebraska. Major Jeffrey O'Brien, Army Reserve, age 45, Indianola, Iowa. Chief Warrant Officer 3, Robert Marzan, Army Reserve, age 54, Sacramento, California. Captain Cody Cork, Army Reserve, age 35, Winter Haven, Florida. Sergeant Declan Cody, Army Reserve, age 20, West Des Moines, Iowa. Sergeant First Class Nicole Amor, capital A-M-O-R, Army Reserve, age 39, White Bear Lake, Minnesota. Well, it's kind of tough to talk after that.
Right.
We get to sit back here in central Indiana and enjoy beef and noodles and make jokes and life goes on. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't pay the respect and honor that they earned. They definitely earned our respect and honor. And we will be back right after this message plays.
We're taking a short break, but don't go anywhere. Ed and Ronnie will be right back in just a few seconds. Thank you so much for supporting Red, White, and True. Did you know that your interactions with us on social media are vital to making sure that we continue to grow our audience? Please follow us on all major social media platforms, especially our Facebook page, so we can continue to share Christ through current events and more here on this live stream. Okay, just a little bit longer to make sure that you go grab your coffee, soda, or whatever you want, so we can continue with today's live stream. All right? Are you ready? Here we go. Here again, our Ed and Ronnie.
Our Father in heaven, we lift up the memory of those 13 heroes. We pray for their family, their friends and loved ones. We pray for our country as we mourn their loss. Father, I pray regularly, and in it I ask you to help us to win this war with the objectives we need to finish. But I pray that we win this war sooner rather than later. Thank you, Father, for heroes like those 13 who are willing to put their life on the line. When they raised their right hand, it meant something. and it definitely cost them the ultimate sacrifice. In Jesus' name, amen. What do you think, Ronnie?
Very good. Next time we'll do it at the end or at the beginning, at the beginning or something.
Yeah, it just struck me, and didn't
Yeah.
want that.
Hey. We've talked about that from the beginning. If it strikes you, do it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Well, I'm sure we have other news to cover tonight.
Yeah.
What's on your list of things to do for right now?
Well, I've got a pretty long video, which we're not going to show all of it because we've almost talked this subject to death, but we've talked about sleeper cells and all that. So here's just talking more about it.
Concern about her safety here at home in the wake of the strikes on Iran's nuclear sites. Breaking news today. Immigration and Customs agents announced they have arrested 15 illegal Iranian immigrants since Sunday. One of them admitted to ties to Hezbollah in Lebanon. A law enforcement source told Fox News the FBI is closely watching for any Iranian-backed sleeper agents in the wake of Operation Midnight Hammer. During the Biden administration, border agents arrested more than 1,500 Iranians who entered illegally at our southern border. They let nearly half of them go. President Trump on that this morning.
Biden let a lot of supercells in. Biden was an incompetent president, had no idea what he was doing. He let a lot of supercells in, many from Iran. But hopefully we'll take care of them. What Biden did to this country should never be forgotten.
Justice correspondent David Spunt is in Washington.
I'll go ahead and cut it there. Trump's going to Trump, and we talked about this on Saturday. Unfortunately, one thing I don't quite agree with, and he said on Saturday in the video we showed that he knows where most of the cells are, or the government does. Caught some of them. That's obviously not all. So I don't know, either Trump's trying to make everybody feel safe and saying we know where they're at, or, we're keeping an eye on them, or I've heard there could be anywhere from 2,000 to 10,000 or more trained either Iranian sympathizers or ISIS sympathizers or sleeper cells of some sort already here, already planning, already strategizing. Maybe they already have their plans. Maybe they're just waiting for the sword to drop, I guess. But I don't know. It's something that's bugging the crap out of me because Donald Trump campaigned on making us feel safe, and I don't feel safe at the moment.
Well, we're going to hope and pray that they've got surveillance on those sleeper cells, waiting for the right time to take them. There's no way for you or I to know that, but I think it's you mentioned beating this subject to death. Well, as far as I'm concerned, we're going to keep beating that subject to death. Numerous people over the weekend asked me about sleeper cells, or if we were on the verge of World War III. And my answer was, well, somebody asked me last night late if I thought the sleeper cells had been activated. And, that can mean a whole lot of different things. But my answer was yes, I believe they've been activated. Whether that means they're got plans laid out for what they need to do, or whether they've just been instructed to be lone wolves, or if they've got something big. A sleeper cell doesn't necessarily mean an organized group. It can mean that, but I mean, you could pull up a group chat and invite people to the group chat that follow the same beliefs that you have, and one night and say, we're going tomorrow at noon. That plan hasn't been hatched way in advance, but sleeper cells, I think pretty much are always activated with the instructions on when it's okay to go ahead. And I can't imagine him saying right now that, oh, it's not a good time to do that.
I can't. Yeah. I mean, they've already threatened multiple times that, you know, if we went over there, if we did anything, that, you know, the retaliation and punishment, and we already did. So unfortunately, it's kind of a waiting game to see not when it's going to happen, but if. Or no, I'm sorry, not if it's going to happen, because it's going to happen. Just when. That's what I meant to say.
I knew that. Yeah. Well, we have a guest with us once again tonight from Great Britain. And I have a post that came from Kevin Sorbo, the actor Kevin Sorbo, who is an amazing Christian man, who is an amazing conservative. He's a good actor, but he's a better Christian and a better conservative than he is an actor. And so he's really good at all three. But his post is Islam is a cancer. That's what his post says. And then he was sharing a post from an account called Basil the Great. And this is about our friend's government. Green Party announced they will remove Christianity as Britain's national religion if they win. And this is a very, very, very short video of someone there that, well, they have their idea on what will happen. Let me get this one.
We will not be silent. We will raise the voice of Gaza. We will raise the voice of Palestine. Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
Yeah, we don't want to listen to them. We don't want to listen to them a second time, but we want to acknowledge that this isn't just an American problem. As a matter of fact, there are places in Europe somewhat of their own doing, much like one of our issues is of our own doing, just allowing massive amounts of illegals into the country. But they want the attention wherever they can get it. And if that happens to be in another country, I mean, that's their whole deal. They want attention so that they can convey what it is that they espouse, and the vitriol, the horrible parts of what Islam is. And as Kevin Sorbo, Islam is a cancer. Is a cancer. And I've got this one is just a read only. I don't have a video with it, but you know how when you're scrolling through, Ronnie, and you see certain things, you know, this is a really unpopular war. Just all the kind of negatives that come from the left and the mainstream media, which they're no more mainstream. Yeah. This is a Rasmussen report, and I feel that they are a trusted organization. McLaughlin poll, the United States military action against Iran and the leadership of the Iranian regime were necessary and warranted to protect the American lives today and in the future. That's what they were asked. A clear majority, 57% of likely voters agreed, while only 33% disagreed. Support was particularly strong among voters planning to support Republican candidates, where agreement reached 87% compared to just 7% who disagreed. Even among voters still undecided about their congressional vote, the statement won majority support at 51% to 29%. The results also show meaningful support among several key demographic groups. Among independent voters, 46% agreed the action was necessary, compared to 40% who disagreed. Among Hispanic voters, the agreement was 56 to 33, and among women, the margin was 47 to 38. So strong majority backs Trump in stopping Iran's nuclear ambitions and their Islamic Sharia law government. So I guess, Ronnie, the point of that is, if you're getting all your news from mainstream media,
Oh yeah.
probably all you heard was about this unpopular war in Iran that nobody supports and that Trump is just doing what he wants. He's out of control. He's a dictator. And so that's another reason to come and visit us on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, 8 p.m. Let's not do the 8 a.m. thing unless there's
No. Do that.
We can talk about Cuba in a few minutes. What's your next news story, Ronnie? What do you got?
I mean, really nothing that we have to. Okay, sorry. There is this. So we said November 5th, 2024, to give President Trump a chance, and I kind of thought about it when Mondani got elected in New York, a mayor of New York, the socialist mayor of New York. Maybe we should just give him a chance, kind of like what I was saying. Well, I gave him a chance, and besides trashing the streets and the free grocery stores completely wiped out within minutes, and raising taxes even more than what there already are, now New Yorkers get to look forward to this.
What we are doing is to create a central office solely focused on the well-being of queer New Yorkers so that their needs may be better met by every city agency across our administration.
The queer community, as well as intersecting communities and adjacent communities, are under extreme attack in this country from all angles, it seems, from the highest levels of government to society in general, and to even sometimes people that we consider friendly fire, unfortunately. And so now more than ever in this moment, it is so critical, I think, to have trans leadership, because New York City is where the LGBTQ civil rights movement started.
Now, first, I'd like to propose a question, because maybe I'm just misinformed because I'm not a member of the LGBT LMNOQ community. What rights do they not have? What special abilities do I, as a Caucasian male, have that they don't? I guess I don't understand that. Just because somebody doesn't pretend to be a different sex and dress in women's clothes doesn't mean you're not represented in the highest forms of government. So I guess I don't understand. I mean, if somebody out there could explain that to me, I'd be glad to listen. I mean, they can vote, they can get married, they can carry a firearm, so all the same things I as a Caucasian male can do, but apparently they need more representation for their rights that are trampled away. Do you understand?
Well, I think we could probably be in an arena, or maybe let's just say a college classroom that had 100 to 200 seats out in front of us, and we could have a chalkboard behind us and have that written out, what they just said, and we could easily have an hour-long lecture on what utter BS that was right there. Because the very first thing I'm going to say is, what religion is Mondani?
He's Islamic, isn't he?
Yes, he's Islamic. What does the Islam religion think of the LGBT community?
Well, according to the Quran, it's a massive sin, and they kill homosexuals. They throw them off of rooftops. So
I've seen Middle East countries have pictures of hanging people from that
stoning.
demographic, stoning, as you said, throw them off of buildings. And so the Quran also says that for a Muslim, it is okay to lie if it supports what you're trying to attain within the Muslim religion. And I'm going to call total BS on Mamdani, what he said there at the beginning, because he can do that with a straight face and no shame, because that is what they are allowed. You know, if people would look into Islam and what the Quran says, you would be totally freaked out at some of the things that they say are acceptable to do in the name of Islam. And speaking of Islam, I've got, again, this is another very, very, very short video to play. Let me restart it. And
Trump and his congressional Republicans are absolutely trying to dismantle our electoral process. And the SAVE Act, it impacts millions of women who change their last names after marriage, many of them who are mothers who are incredibly busy. They don't have time to track down extra paperwork. It will also prevent minorities from voting, and their strategy couldn't be more clear. And the American people are pushing back. I hope the Senate does the same. Trump and his congressional Republicans are absolutely trying to dismantle our electoral process. And the SAVE Act, it impacts millions of women who change their last name.
I'll go ahead and cut it off there because we kind of cut in right in the middle.
Since apparently I don't understand because I'm not a minority, but where in the Save America Act does it say that it's taking away voting rights away from minorities? I would like to give me an example. You're basically sitting there and going, this is how to make a cake. First you buy a cake, and then you have cake. What ingredients do you need to get to that cake? You're just saying first you buy cake and you eat cake. So that makes no sense. People don't have time to track down extra documents, so people don't have time to track down their driver's license, their birth certificate, and their marriage certificate. You know, something that they should have done after being married already. I mean, these are not new concepts. You know, I've never changed my last name in a marriage, but I can track down my birth certificate and my driver's license and my social security card all within a couple of hours. And that's if I had lost everything, including my underpants in a house fire. So I guess I don't.
True story, by the way. True story.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, answer the second part of that question that's on this. No, the first part.
Yeah, what is this man talking about? It's again, it doesn't matter what it is, Orange Man bad, and for a person to be sitting on national television and telling people, especially uneducated people that watch CNN, that he's making it harder for minorities to vote, that's just absolutely asinine, and that man should be locked away.
Well, and what I actually meant to ask you was, who was that man? Did you know who it was?
I guess I didn't catch it. I was just listening to him. Too stupid.
You're going to smack yourself in the head when I tell you who it was. It was Andre Carson.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. From Indianapolis.
Yeah. I was going to say, you know, what he's talking about has been that district has been represented by him and his grandmother for the last, well, since George Washington was the commander-in-chief. His grandmother, I didn't think was ever going to, you know, she made Nancy Pelosi look good.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much impossible. By the way, he happens to be Muslim.
Oh, of course. Of course. Yeah.
Took his oath of office on a Quran.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
So,
but personally, to me, that should be criminal. That would be about as much stupidity as Ryan Lauer, works for the state of Indiana. If he were to get on CNN and say that some piece of legislation that Joe Biden was trying to pass that really didn't have to do with a hill of beans, was going to take away voting rights from white Christian Americans. That doesn't happen because that's not what this is. This guy's fear mongering. Andre Carson is fear mongering. That's what he does.
Yeah, he's a master.
Sometimes you get fired up. Oh yeah, just like his grandma. Sometimes you get fired up. Sometimes I do too.
Well, we've been talking about many different things of the SAVE Act, and here is our commander-in-chief giving some of his opinions. And we'd love, Susan is on a roll in here. We'd love to hear the rest of your guys' comments too, especially the ones from around here that know who Andre Carson is and know what his grandmother stood for 450 years. But this one is going to tell us how Donald Trump feels about, I think it's this one. Let's see. Nope, that is not the right one. My apology, wrong one. Let me find it this way.
To protect our sacred American. Look at this. Look. It's the easiest thing we have. I can't. It's the easiest thing we have. Now, the problem is you call it the SAVE Act, and nobody knew what the hell the SAVE Act. Have you been seeing? I've been working overtime the last month. It's called the Save America Act. And I saw Schumer yesterday. We will stop Save America. He's getting killed. They can't do it. And then the things within the Save America are so good. But just the title. So we had that with MAGA. Greatest name of all time. Make America Great Again. MAGA. It just worked. I had something, Keep America Great. It was good, but it didn't have that MAGA. There was nothing you could see. I had CAG. And CAG, I said, no longer, that's not good. But MAGA is great, and we'll always respect MAGA. We love MAGA. We're never going to let you down with MAGA. But this one's even better if you think about it. This says, America. We're going to save America. The Save America. How can they fight us? The Save America Act. And I've watched them. I watched Schumer, who's horrible. What a horrible politician. He is now a Palestinian officially. He is registered. He's a proud. He's taken the biggest turn of any human being I've ever seen. He's gone from totally pro-Israel to totally pro-Palestinian. He wants to protect the Iranian people that are quite nasty. But it's very simple. All voters must show the act, voter ID.
It's common sense stuff, and it's sickening how it's not.
Well, I guess we just are at a place in history where there is no common sense. We
common sense.
We act like we act like we should expect people to have common sense, and maybe it's our fault for expecting that because there just ain't none out there. And you know what? Schumer probably wouldn't even get mad about being called a Palestinian.
And we've said it all along. If Mexicans were coming across the border and Donald Trump was handing them free cell phones and health care and food stamps and college and all these things for a vote, then Democrats would have built the wall years ago, and Democrats would demand voter IDs, and so it's just insanity.
Well,
typical liberal insanity.
I have a picture to show. Maybe everybody should close their eyes for just a second, because I don't want you to, be scared without being able to take your hand off your eyes slowly. But here we go. Islam will enter every home.
Good luck. Good luck.
Well, you should read some of the comments. However, we should not take that lightly, because I believe that man was serious.
Oh, yeah.
We talk about sleeper cells. He probably belongs to one. And that's probably his job, to go out and stir up trouble. And, there was a lot of people that said things about ARs and about his last breath and things like that. He don't care.
No.
Best quote ever just hit the comments. Oh my goodness. We have got to share this. Go ahead, Ronnie.
Oh, yeah.
What's it say?
Not with the bacon in my purse. Not with the bacon in my purse. I love it. Gosh, I love it.
Your mom's got a few that go with that, about soaking the bullets in bacon grease and all kind of stuff like that. But and we can joke about it, and I think it's okay and healthy to joke about it. But just remember, that part's a joke. Them coming through your door, them saying Islam will be in every house, most houses they would have to break into to be in every house. And
why didn't Japan invade mainland United States in World War II? Because there was a Japanese emperor that said there would be a blade of a gun behind every blade of grass. And as liberal as the United States has gotten, that's still true. I want to say typical firearm count for a standard American household is like 3.5, 4, something like that. I mean,
well, let me just say, I was part of a conversation.
I've got more than that in arm's length of me, but we don't need to go there.
Well, I was part of a conversation yesterday that was kind of on the lines of this. It wasn't really about Islam, or I even forget what started it. But the person I was talking, well, there were 6 of us that were talking, and one of the 6 just kept showing us what he was talking about, which is what we're talking about. And they got prettier every picture he showed.
Nice.
And so, like I say, we can joke about it, but we're really not joking.
No.
It's kind of like the statement that I used for forever and continue to use it. Things are going to continue to get worse in the United States until all the rednecks get ticked off.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
And
look
when
at what it took
the
for the Revolutionary War. We were ticked off over the tax of tea, and now everything's taxed. You can't fart without it being taxed. But yeah, it's just going to take taking off the right amount of people, at the right time.
and I think most gun owners have a little bit of redneck blood in them. I think, some people would prove me wrong on that, and I understand, but and people would look at me and say, well, you don't seem like a redneck. Well,
maybe not, but you got a small army of rednecks behind you.
Yeah, and a small arsenal in my house that says something different. And and so I know that there are people that'll listen. We got friends that don't like when we talk about this and talk this way. But the thing is, we go back to the sleeper cells. We go to that picture that says Islam will be in every house. In every house, we go back to Saturday when we listed what the 4 most recent terrorist attacks were. The families of all of those people. It's real, folks.
Oh yeah.
I remember way back when I first started podcasting, which podcast basically went into live stream. Podcast was what we do without video. We talked nightly about things like this that was going to happen we talked about in 2008 up to about 2012 about the things that are happening now it was just, they're going to happen.
Oh yeah.
And it's funny too, when I think back about it now, I had a group of friends that would go down to the border in Texas and patrol the border, basically. I don't know if you want to call them vigilantes or what you want to call them.
I knew a group of guys that did that. Watchmen of Arizona.
And that was before Joe Biden was ever thought of being in the White House.
Oh yeah. This is back in Obama days. It was a militia group, Watchmen. I was a member of the Watchmen of Indiana, and this was a group of Watchmen of Arizona, and they spent their time patrolling the border. It was crazy.
Well, let me see. I mean, this was one of those nights where it was kind of a hodgepodge of stuff, and we're that way certain nights. I think I got just about everything covered that I wanted to.
Yeah, I got everything covered I wanted to. I got the closing video. It's a very beautiful singing of Amazing Grace.
Well, don't go yet, because I do have one more. Got one more to share my screen with. Susan asked about Cuba.
Yes.
And here is a short video about that.
When will the United States do it? I do believe I'll be having the honor of taking Cuba. That'd be good. That's a big honor.
Taking Cuba.
Taking Cuba in some form, yeah. Taking Cuba. I mean, whether I free it, take it, I think I could do anything I want with it. You want to know the truth? They're a very weakened nation right now. They were for a long time. Very violent leaders. Castro was a very violent leader. His brothers are very violent leaders. Extremely violent. That's how they governed. They governed with violence. But a lot of people would like to go back. Okay, one more question. When will the United States do it? I do believe I'll be having the honor of taking Cuba.
Now, I had somebody ask me over the weekend about Marco Rubio. And they gave me the impression that they didn't believe Rubio was overly intelligent. I'm going to tell you that my two MVPs of the Trump administration, Trump 47 administration, have been Marco Rubio and Pete Hegseth. I mean, that's
Absolutely. 100% agree. No doubt about that.
Rubio is smart. He has Cuban background in his ancestry. He's been working in the background on this, is what seems to be the case. But I'm going to just guess that there's nothing that would make Rubio happier than a free Cuba.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, I set you up with the Trump's going to Trump there a little bit. I heard you kind of chuckle in the background. So, and you know, a lot of this is just falling into Trump's lap. This Cuba thing, he's not gone out of his way. It doesn't appear.
No.
I mean, even somebody as arrogant and self-confident as Trump is wouldn't want to have Venezuela, Iran, and Cuba all on the table at the exact same time.
No. And Greenland.
Oh,
I
yeah,
just read an article. I just read an article about Greenland. So,
well, thought we had a good show tonight, Ronnie. We covered a lot of ground, and well, I guess when you say we covered a lot of ground, when you said something about 8 billion light years, I guess that's covering quite a bit of ground, huh?
Yeah. Light coming from 2 galaxies over. So, yeah, I had a good time, even though I'm cooking on 2 hours of sleep. I'm pooped. I'm ready to lay down.
Well, you got a couple days off. We'll be back Wednesday. We've decided to use the set schedule as Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, 8 o'clock Eastern. There may be still some times where we have to use Friday instead of Saturday. That's a tougher one for us. But so Wednesday, 8 o'clock. If something breaks down between now and then, we go back to pre-war, and well, actually go back to pre-Charlie Kirk, when I used to say, well, I don't know, I got a feeling. And so I don't do that anymore. All I'm going to say is we've not had to go live in a hurry for a while.
Yeah.
So
I just want to share this real quick. I really appreciate that, Susan. I really appreciate that. Even though my people are from the Netherlands, we appreciate the UK.
and so much more we could have covered. I was watching a live stream where Israel's kind of irritated with some of the European nations that basically are sitting on their hands and doing nothing. He didn't call out Great Britain per se, but some of the places that don't usually lend manpower, but lend support and finances.
I had a video of Trump actually complaining about that, saying the United States is going to be doing all the protection through the Strait of Hormuz, even though we only get 1% of our oil from there, which I don't know why that all of a sudden our oil prices have skyrocketed. If we only get 1% through there, I guess it has affected China, though. I did hear that this morning. China and Japan have had to change strategies a little bit because they are losing oil because of the blockages through the Strait of Hormuz. So.
Well, and of course we could have gone on the lines of the island where we put out of commission that there may be boots on the ground headed that direction. There's so much going on in the world right now, but no matter what's going on in the world right now, keep your focus on the Lord. Keep your focus on the Lord, and you'll never go wrong with that. Say goodnight, Ronnie.
Night, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you Wednesday.
And until then, do as we say and do as we do. Go out and do the right thing.
Amen.